What's up, everybody? Today is Monday, August 14th, and I just finished my thesis proposal presentation, and that's why you can see as I'm dressed up right now. I got a dress shirt, dress pants on. Just rocked it, just killed it. Overall went good. Must admit, feeling pretty tired today as I didn't get much sleep the night before as I'm just reviewing things. A little nervous going into it, but overall presentation went good. Lasted about 2 hours in total between the presentation and the just Q&A session with the professors. Made some subtle changes to my study, and actually some significant ones, to be honest, not just subtle, as we removed a few things that we're doing, and it's going to lower the time commitment for my study, so I'll get things completed hopefully in a shorter period, or it'll be done sooner, which is good and I'm happy with. And that being said though, there was an important kind of discussion that we had during the kind of Q&A session, and it brought up an important topic, and it's something that relates to a lot of things that I talk about. And the topic that we talked about was the topic of responders versus non-responders. And so on my YouTube channel, what I talk about always is that exercise programs, exercise training, rehab, nutrition, everything needs to be individualized to each individual. And this goes back to this responders and non-responders, that some people are going to respond well to certain training methods or certain rehab methods or certain diets, and others aren't. And you're going to have non-responders where these individuals may not get any better or any improvements with some of those certain training methods or diets, or they just may actually get worse. And we could use the example of an inversion table, for example. So if you look to like lower back rehab, for example, and if someone maybe has a herniated disc in their lower back, and inversion table is a tool that's commonly used for treating or helping people with spinal disc injuries in their lower back. And it was something that I significantly found helpful in my case. And I know others on my YouTube channel have talked about it being very helpful and it was one of the best things that happened to them. But others, on the other hand, have not had those same benefits and actually experienced maybe pain or just weren't comfortable using it. So the point being is that you're going to have some people respond well to that type of treatment, and some people are not going to respond well to that. And that's just the same thing with anything else though, guys. Exercise, diets as well. Some people may do better on maybe a high carb, high protein, low fat diet, whereas others may do well on maybe a low fat, high protein, maybe moderate carb diet. It all kind of depends on what an individual's needs are, what their training goals are, what maybe sport they're performing. Same could be said for someone like a hockey player. They're going to be highly anaerobically trained because of their demands of their sport. They're working at a high intensity for 45-second shifts on average, and then they take a break for a minute or two or whatever, or however long they're resting for. And so they're really developing their anaerobic system. So they're going to be much more better or efficiently at working through anaerobic glycolysis. And so they're going to respond well to anaerobic training in theory. And they may not respond as well to aerobic training, which is your continuous or your typical kind of continuous moderate training you may see on maybe a treadmill or maybe running a marathon or something. So the point being though is that all I'm trying to say is that everyone is going to respond differently to different forms of treatments, of exercise, diets, nutrition, and it all kind of ties together. And then you're going to have non-responders as well. And that's the important thing to kind of consider, guys, is that you can't really compare yourself to each individual and think that their workout plan that they're using is going to work exactly the same for you, because that's not always exactly 100% true, and it's not always the case, because everyone needs to be individualized to their own needs, and what works for them and what works best for them may not work best for another individual. That's just kind of the important message that I wanted to kind of provide with you guys today. And that's just something that kind of came up with the kind of Q&A discussion, my proposal presentation today, which we were just kind of talking about responders and non-responders with regards to my training study, what we may expect to see. I just wanted to share that as just a little bit of a tip for you guys. And is that you're going to have some people respond and some people aren't going to respond to using that same program or same treatment. Everyone's going to be different at the end of the day, and everyone needs individualization. So with that being said, that is it for this little video, guys, my little tip. Just glad to be done my proposal presentation now and just on to the next step, which is good, and just closer to being done my master's degree, which I'm very happy with and excited for. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, please leave them below. And also wish you guys all the best and a successful and productive day. Take care.